Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is once again, gackt. I missed posting my opinions on Kpop, so here it is, today's video. In today's video I will be reacting and responding to some Reddit K-pop opinions I found on the community r, unpopular K-pop opinions. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Itzy should have debuted as a four-member group without Leah. This is my unpopular opinion. Let me preface this by saying that I think Leah is very talented. She is the best vocalist in Itzy and she's also a very pretty girl. However, I feel this way for two reasons. Her dancing. I don't think that Leah is a bad dancer. I also feel like her dancing wouldn't be a problem if she was in another group whose choreo isn't as hard-hitting. Like Twice, she is just the weakest dancer in her group. I feel like Jack almost set her up to be bullied by putting her in a group with four other girls who train on the dance line. The other four members are exceptional at dance, which makes her stand out and look as if she is really lacking, when in reality, she just sticks out because her other members are top tier. Itzy is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, girl groups in terms of dance skill. Watching their OT4 comeback, none of them stuck out BC. They are all very strong dancers, so I think they wouldn't get as much hate if she wasn't there. Her vocals. I feel like Jack treats Leah kinda how Momo is treated in Twice. They consistently have her singing really high, which she noticeably struggles to do BC. It is not in her comfortable range. Leah has a beautiful lower vocal that is almost never utilized. If you're making the main vocal strain to where she rarely sounds good live, what is the point of having her? Itzy's OT4 comeback album, Born to Be, shows that the songs can still sound good as a four-member group. They just don't have the pretty, sultry tone that Leah usually brings. Itzy has clearly shown that they cater towards dance rather than vocals, so they would have been okay with someone like Sserafim or Yeppi being their main vocal instead, even though they aren't as strong. Ultimately, I think Leah would have fared better in another group, or maybe they should have debuted her as a solo star from the start, having her sing OSTs for shows, movies. I just don't think that Itzy was the right group for her to be placed in.
I understand that person's point of view. We all have to agree that Leah, compared to other members, is not an outstanding dancer. But is that an issue? Number. She was trained to be the main vocalist, not the main dancer. Leah is not lacking compared to her members. She may not be the best in it, but she's not struggling. In my opinion, Itzy needs Leah and her vocal for their songs to sound complete. Even though the Born to Be album was good, with solid tracks in it, I felt that something was missing, and that thing was Leah's voice. Her vocal tone is incredible. She's a really skilled vocalist. I wouldn't say Leah is struggling with the lines she gets, at least not in most of them. As I said, she's a great vocalist. I would never compare her to Momo, and say she's the Momo of Itzy. Leah may sing better in lower tones. However, she still manages to make the higher notes sound good. If anyone, I would say the person who gets the most unsuitable vocal ranges to their vocal skills is Itzy. She always gets the really high notes, that even professional singers, who are better than her, struggle to sing. Itzy works best as five. Leah fits the concept well and suits the group's overall image.
Male idols are the one to blame for delusional fans. This is an unpopular opinion because although this can also be for female groups, but it mostly male groups, to be honest. Male idols are the reason why ass fans exist. Why? It's because they feed the fans the delusional narrative they need by calling them their wife or interacting in a weird way. This was actually a good strategic way into luring fans into the fandom, and then some of them actually develop emotionally attachment to the idols. So don't blame them when they actually get sad when their husband idol gets into dating scandals. Let's take TXT and Unpopular for an example. Mo and Jin are two complete different fandom, but one will react differently to a dating scandal. That's because TXT doesn't treat their fans as wife or girlfriend, but rather friend family way. They have more of a sibling relationship with their friends, so when Sun or Yeojun gets into dating scandal, they probably be like, oh wow, however broken bar if Heesung or Jake gets into dating scandal of broken bar, how do you think Instant will react? Exactly. If you're going to keep feeding your fans some delusions fantasy for some exchange for pocket money, don't get mad when they leave your fandom. Let not even forget Heesung changing his lover's name to Jin's husband a broken bar, literally my point.
Crazy how people can blame idols, whose personality is established by the company, to be the reason why delusional fans exists. Delusional fans are the only ones to blame in the situation. I don't know much about Sserafim, so I didn't know about this Weverse situation. However, if we were to think a bit more about the situation, how would normal fan react to this? Probably just joke and do nothing serious. It's not like idols are making normal fans go crazy because of some stupid nickname. Of course, to delusional fans, it's not the best thing to do. But let's take 17 as an example. If we look at Vernon, I think he would be the last idol on earth to do any of this kind of fan service towards delusional fans, yet we all know how most of his fan calls look like. And then when we look at Manu, who relatively does some kind of fan service in this aspect, his fans act normal. For example, when he was standing next to Lisa, no one bat an eye, and following your logic, the fans would lose their heads by this. We also need to remember that what we see on camera is not 100% idol's personality. Companies always create and give certain members some roles, such as the cute one, the sexy one, etc.
G-idol are the 4th gen leaders, not Hive, aespa, or Sserafim, while everyone's focus is on aespa wow Garena is so hot, or Hive wow one girl, or Sserafim wow Sakura. Hive, a group has been silently killing it, revolutionizing the game, and topping charts. G-idol, my unpopular opinion, they have such unique concepts, and a definite style, not to mention, bouncing back from crisis after crisis, headed by a passionate and talented leader in Soyeon, incredible alchemy of the members, and a beautiful and genuine friendship. The group is packed with charisma and talent, and is keen to make freedom of choice in what concepts they pursue, unlike most 4th gen groups which get songs handed to them by their company, which is not a bad thing but obviously limits expression of the group. G-idol, even after losing a member, has peaked, consistently hitting 300 million in their last 3 title tracks, and is likely going to hit it once again with Super Lady. No other group in 4th gen is doing it like G-idol. They are the unsung 4th gen leaders.
Even though I agree that G-idol are undoubtedly one of the top girl groups of 4th generation, I hate the way you worded your opinion. I hate how some K-pop fans are used to bashing other women just to praise their faves. The whole section about other K-pop 4th generation girl groups was so damn unnecessary. I want to scream and hit my face against the wall several times. And the fact that a fan of Idol, out of all groups, whose concept is the woman empowerment, is the one to write stuff like that. Other than that, I agree, Idol is one of the 4th generation leaders, not the only ones, as I would say IVE, aespa and New Jeans are really influential groups to the 4th generation. I would also mention Itzy and is1, since they were the original 4th gen leaders, as in 3rd gen we all could say that there is the big 3, Blackpink, Twice and Red Velvet. I wouldn't say the same thing is present in 4th gen. I think there are so many big girl groups that it's hard to pick just one as the generation leaders.
And she shouldn't have debuted in the Sserafim. This is unpopular because she seemed well liked and she mostly gets adoration for being the classic Magni, cute, playful, youthful, etc. And people say she was necessary to round out the group, because apparently every group needs a bubbly Magni. Reading this back on the where this will sound like a hate post, especially because it got longer than I expected, but it's my unaffected and honest opinion. I have no hate for Anchi, but it'd be silly to say all K-pop group lineups are perfect, and this is one of those examples, strongly for me. I've been into the Sserafim since Anchi Fragile and their music and concepts are some of my favorite. However, in terms of what she brings to the group, I feel like Anchi doesn't shine nearly as much as the other 4 in any department, and she doesn't fit their concept well, to quote another post on the internet. Every time I look at their 5 photos I always see 4 powerful women plus 1 cute girl. Like there's such a stark difference between her and Yeonjun that I probably wouldn't have guessed they were from the same group. Everyone gives fierce, baddie vibes, and then she's a kid. I don't think she's ever really given any of the powerful energy that the rest of the Sserafim puts out. It doesn't help that they also style her according to her contrasting vibe, with cutesy hairstyles and accessories. Makeup, even when she's wearing more high fashion or bolder clothes, she gives the vibe of a kid. It's pretty much just big blank stares or her babyish expressions in their photo shoots. Like imagine a similar child added to Everglow, or Dreamcatcher, or Blackpink, or Idol, or any other fierce hot girl group. It doesn't make sense to me personally and throws off the whole vibe. Her singing is also mediocre at best and there's nothing that stands out about her vocals tbh. If anything, the only memorable lines to me she's had were her rap verses in Anti-Fragile because Lion and Desire made me cringe. It really did sound like a child, and almost like whining, watching LSF's performances, dance practices, and studio tunes. She never really catches my eye. I've watched a lot of stage performances of full groups performing together and there's this sort of eye-catching vibe that a lot of performers have when it's about to be their line or their time in the center. Every member in LSF has a way of grabbing my attention when it's about to be their time to shine. Except Anchi for some reason, and when I do focus my attention on her, it rarely lasts. I watch individual thinkings of LSF, as I do with groups I like. Every LSF member has a unique presence, and I love each of them. Yeonjun's confidence and coolness, Kizzo's elegance and go-get-it attitude, Cheon's chic vibe and baby cheat-ness, Sakura's charisma and energy. Anchi sometimes has a big refreshing smile, but that's about it. A lot of the time it feels to me like she has this I'm dancing cues I have to attitude about her, like she isn't really enjoying the moment or wanting to show people her best personality. She even got similar comments about her demeanor when LSF went on the Jim Jongkook channel. Are you a bit lazy? There's a lot of oh, I couldn't care less. You give off that vibe a lot. Quite possibly the most controversial part of my take regarding Anchi. Something about her aura is annoying, to put it straight. Throughout a lot of the Sserafim content I've watched, I've noticed she doesn't exhibit as much of a driven, considerate, or mature character as the other members. Granted, she is younger, but even Morning at 14 as the Magni of his one was very driven and exhibited great teamwork ethics throughout Produce and the group's lifetime. Not saying this to compare people, just saying that you can't always use age as an excuse maturity. I am also not a warning stand by any means, just to shut anyone up who wants to claim I'm a toxic warning stand or something weird. All throughout the front day live stream Anchi looks upset and even cries at one point because she is being ignored, but continues to be left out. Talked over after she opened up about it. Thing is when I watched closely. Throughout the stream, everyone was involved in giving their best effort to each task at hand, coming up with slogans, working on the poster, decorating, while she was mostly trying to just find humor in a situation or laughing at the members' ideas, and didn't really look like she was there to achieve anything productive. It's giving child, very much so, owing to her lazy demeanor that Jongkook described. This is the part that sounds like hate, in the same way you might call the lazy Jin allegations, but I'm not saying this for the sake of hating. It truly does seem to me like she doesn't show genuine concern for others' wishes. Like don't act like something's about you and then wonder why the others moved on with business or responded passive-aggressively, like this moment here, and then why does she look so sulky around 9:30? She has a cuteness I'll admit, but at times it's like she's trying to do it and it's really clingy. I don't mean any of this as an attack on her as a person, but I just don't think she should have debuted in the Sserafim. First and foremost because of her baby-like personality in a group of powerful women. One is one was different because she actually felt like a blossoming teenage girl showing her elegant and poised side, and she debuted at an even younger age than Anchi, and she gives off the vibe that she wants to be a baby forever. There's plenty of positive I can say about her, like she has done well as a music bank and idol interviewer on her Star Diary show, skills that I'm sure will help her down the line. She could be a great idol, but the Sserafim could have done it with someone different.
I agree to an extent. I am against debuting underage idols since they are often perceived as just being the cute and bubbly one of the group. I also agree that Sserafim's concept is not the most fitting one to Anchi. However, I need to talk about the mischaracterization in this post, since when was Sserafim promoting themselves as a baddie, hot, girl boss group? Surely, they aren't a group with cute concept, and they have some inappropriate for minors dancing parts. Fearless floor dance. However, I think that Unchi brings that refreshing vibe to the group. I just hope they gave her more appropriate outfits and not make her do stuff like that fearless floor dance again.
Vocals don't matter as much as we make them out to be. At the end of the day, there's more that makes a K-pop group than just the vocal capabilities of the members. The brand of the group as a whole includes the concept, musical genre, public personas of the members, their music videos, dance ability, interactions with fans on social media, and more. Vocals aren't the end all be all of K-pop, and they will never be because it's not a stand-up feature of the genre. K-pop as a whole prioritizes aesthetic over anything else. If that brand doesn't require for a group member to be able to sing well, then it's not necessary as that member will instead contribute something else to the group's overall success. Also, while there has been this moral panic over how there are fewer singers in 4th gen compared to past generations, but the music still bops, the lack of the member's vocal capability isn't causing the music quality to suffer. Companies would not release music with bad vocals on the track because it's bad for business. The member would be expected to perform to the best of their capability. So if the music is still good, then there's virtually zero consequences to having a member with poor vocals. I don't see why a member with poor vocals is somehow less worthy of praise than a member with better ones. All the member put in the hours of rehearsal, had to learn and perform the songs, woke up early hours, went nights without sleep. Even if one doesn't sing well, is it justified to dismiss all of the hard work they contributed for the team as a whole? This is an unpopular opinion because the majority of people believe that poor vocals are inexcusable and have no place in K-pop, or that the issue is significant enough that the genre as a whole is suffering as a result. We should all learn the concept of equity does not mean equality. Each member provides something to the group as a whole that gears it for success. Some member may contribute more in some areas where others aren't, but what matters is that all of their efforts unite to reach a single goal, that is the group's success.